right, welcome to Saturday edition of Gen X Rated. How we doing, guys, on this Saturday?
Good. Good.
Excellent. Anything new going on? Any appointees or anything of interest? Bird flu? I don't know. FEMA? Something? Anybody?
Well, gee, let's see. There's an alcoholic serial sexual offender, white supremacist Christian nationalist in charge of the entire military budget. So nothing to see here.
I did see that he had to have the tie broken. It's probably the lowest tally that anybody's ever had for Secretary of Defense. By Johnson, of course, had to cast the deciding vote. You had Murkowski, Collins, and even Mitch McConnell vote against this guy. But he did pass, so he's our new...
I can't believe it. I can't believe, what's her name, Ernst, voted for this.
Yeah, it was very telling because she has a history of being sexually assaulted, but apparently bygones be bygones.
What do they have on her? I mean, why are these people so afraid? Are they just that horrible that they are just that hateful? Because, dude, who cares? So you get primaried.
I know.
So it's fucking ridiculous. What?
Let's keep in mind that this guy was a weekend host on Fox, quite a party guy. I think he did the axe throwing and nearly killed a cameraman. Probably because he was a little inebriated, but now he's in charge of our military, and it is horrifying. Uncle Bill, I know you have another point to make about this guy. I'll just put up this photo of him here. What do the tattoos mean?
I'm guessing those are white supremacist tattoos.
Interesting.
No, he is a full-on Christian nationalist, white supremacist. He doesn't want soldiers. He wants warriors.
Oh, warriors. Sounds tough.
And what's the old Bob Dylan line? When you got a lot of knives and you got a lot of forks, you got to cut something.
Yeah.
And hey, these people are looking to start some shit. And here's the thing that really terrifies me.
I'm listening.
During the Black Lives Matter protests, when they were protesting in DC, Trump wanted to call out the troops. He wanted the military to come out and he wanted to shoot people. Oh, let's just shoot them in the leg. And the Secretary of Defense at the time said, no, we're not doing that. You think this guy is going to say no to Trump?
No, of course not.
No. And dude, that's what keeps me up at night. The fact that if we do have mass protests, that these clowns will call in the military, and we will find out exactly where we are as a country then.
Well, the military is already being sent to the Texas border, which is kind of a weird thing for immigration.
It's extremely weird. It's bizarre. It's unconstitutional.
And on that note, you have our new Homeland Security Secretary.
Puppy killer.
You may remember her from murdering her dog that didn't perform as well. So we went
wearing
from
a big hat,
eating the cats and eating the dogs to now we're just going to shoot them. So
do these fucking stupid hats only come in one size, like Elmer Fudd size? I mean, none of these idiots look good in a hat. And they're all giant fucking watermelon head sized hats.
It is. It's crazy.
She has a very small head.
Well, it encases a very small brain.
Maybe, but they
here she is without a hat.
And Mel Gibson said it's like Daddy arrived and he's taking the belt off. For all of us, that's what Mel Gibson thinks about Donald Trump being president now.
Wow.
So,
well, we know Mel Gibson's all about self-flagellation. So,
well, I mean, that's just it. It did. None of his anti-Semitism in the past matters. None of his racism matters. None of his misogyny. None of his calling a cop sugar tits matters. None of that shit matters, because he's all for Trump and Trump's taking the belt off and spanking us all. It's troubling how pumped up these people are, and then they put these talented fucking performers on like Billy Ray Cyrus, who is so fucking he's got did you know he has like 6 kids and only one of them he talks to, and that's the youngest one, and he looks just like Bill. I mean, he looks as old as Billy Ray because he's the only fucking drinker in the group apparently. Everybody else is pretty healthy. That's what we're dealing with. It's just I just got a pit in my stomach when Pete Hegseth got confirmed. I was like, there's just no fucking way.
Me too. I don't know.
There's got to be 5 fucking Republicans, and then my former senator JD Couchfucker allegedly Vance passes this guy through. I mean, hey JD, This dude hates your fucking brown kids. He hates your fucking brown wife.
Mhm.
He hates brown things, motherfucker, unless it's brown liquor. So, I mean, you know, good luck with that. Who knows how long he's going to last, dude. You can't just fucking quit drinking on the dime. What's he going to go? Go fucking detox now for the next 48 hours with his third fucking wife and
Yeah.
shit? No, I mean, dude, if this guy's a full-fledged alcoholic, he has to fucking drink every day or he might die. You know.
Good point.
So I don't know how the fuck he's gonna quit. Is he instantly gonna go to fucking rehab at day one of his job? America's dumb, dude. We're doing dumb shit. We had a chance.
We're doing dumb shit.
Republicans, Mitch McConnell had a chance to fucking get rid of this guy once and for all. He could have told everybody to fucking convict this guy for his fucking impeachment. He could have never run again. Democrats could have done a better fucking job running. They decided to run fucking Joe Biden 2.0 fucking campaign when young people are like, I'm not down with that bullshit. And so, you know, we just have a bunch of fucking selfish boomers that showed up, a few fucking Hispanics.
Self-hating Hispanics.
Far too many women, which I don't understand since you lost half of your fucking rights a couple of years ago with Roe v. Wade.
White women, to be fair.
It's all, you know. Dude, I gotta get worked up, but I'm gonna stay calm because it's Saturday today. And,
we have to.
Yeah.
We have a lot going on here. Based on your point about ignorance or just being dum-dums, however you want to look at it. The orange guy was out yesterday in California and several other places talking about FEMA and maybe stopping FEMA. I did see some things on Twitter as he was speaking about Asheville and what a mess it was and what a terrible job they did. People that were about 10 miles away were praising FEMA. They said, ignore this guy. He has no idea what he's talking about. To that point, FEMA is a federal agency, but they have directors in every state. The federal government only gets involved for reimbursement, or if the governor feels that the state or the community can't handle what they're up against, they come in and they help. It's a great program. Most of the money that they send to the states goes to clearing debris, rebuilding roads, and firefighter overtime hours. This is not something that they're abusing. Trump's whole point is, the federal government, they don't know where the roads, they don't know where to go. It's just ignorance. He has no idea what he's talking about.
Ignorance. He's a stupid man.
He's not the smartest guy out there. Just to continue to move on, we do have the issue with bird flu that's happening. We do have the CDC and the HHS are not allowed to communicate externally. That means to you and I.
Nothing to see here. All is well.
Worthwhile information getting out to us that might be helpful to the population that isn't them.
Don't eat the eggs, don't eat the chicken.
This thing called bird flu. Interesting side bit. I went to buy some meat for my son to have some dinner. I talked to my butcher about the chicken. He assured me that they get their chicken not from Georgia, which is having a massive outbreak, but they get it from Indiana and Southern Illinois. I passed on the chicken anyway. By the time I got home at 11 a.m., I saw that there was a massive outbreak of bird flu in Indiana. They had to put down about 370,000 egg layers, 19,000 turkeys. And it's really hard to get back to where you were when you're losing these farms.
Why didn't you send me a text? I mean, I literally made fucking chicken pot pie last night with my producer Melissa.
How you
feeling?
Bunch
of fucking chicken legs today in the oven. Baked them in the oven. So thank you for that. If I start fucking coughing in the middle of the show, you'll know I'm soon to be dead. And oh, by the way, I believe in New York, I don't know what you call those places, but a place that raises ducks since 1908.
I saw that 1909, I believe. Yes, go ahead.
They completely shut down, and they're calling 100,000 ducks because of the bird flu, and they're not going to reopen. So
no,
there you go.
Wow,
100+ years and out of business,
dude. Correct. How do they call all those chickens and ducks? Who does that? Do they get a bunch of geeks to bite their heads off?
Or I mean, I don't know. I guess we could Google that, but
what a horrible job.
After you're done making your apple, cheese, peanut, chocolate licorice tray, could you look that up for me and figure out how they call all those birds?
Listen, one other thing before we jump off the government, which I don't want to have a whole afternoon full of this. But last night, there were 17 inspector generals that were fired. This is a position that the Congress needs 30 days to approve. Trump, the dictator, orange guy, thinks that he can just do this on his own unilaterally. The basis of these inspector generals are to keep an eye on fraud, waste, and abuse. They're independent. They're not Democrats. They're not Republicans. They are people that do their job very well, and they've been fired for apparently no other reason than Trump would like his loyalists in there to check on abuse, fraud, and waste. And I think we saw how this worked in the meat packaging when they were, patrolling themselves, inspecting themselves. Not a great thing. And I wanted to ask Uncle Bill, because they called it the Friday Night Massacre, but I think we know that they had one under Nixon. And what was that, Billy?
October of 73, the Saturday Night Massacre.
Saturday Night Massacre.
Yeah. So there was a special investigator appointed, a special prosecutor actually appointed to delve into the Watergate case. So Nixon, on a Saturday night, told his attorney general, a fellow named Archibald Cox, to fire him. Cox refused and resigned. So they moved down the line to Cox's assistant. He too refused and resigned. It got to a guy named Robert Bork, who followed through and fired him. And Bork was later a Supreme Court nominee. And years later, he said, well, I was going to resign, but they told me that somebody needed to stay and keep an eye on things. Like, okay, whatever. But the point is, it backfired on Nixon. It did not work. The public approval was way down. It was public disapproval, and the Republicans disapproved of it. And that's how far through the looking glass we are.
Yes.
It was Republicans and Democrats that impeached Nixon and forced him to resign.
He resigns.
Right. But I mean, they voted for impeachment, and he was going to be impeached. They had the votes, right? Now, that would never happen. No. That would never happen. And even Nixon, as heinous of a character as he was very paranoid. He was racist, not a good person, but not a complete dummy either. Even he understood, hey, I need to resign. I'm not going to make a circus out of this.
Don't you think, Bill, that it's also about information? I mean, you could only get information from a nightly newscast or newspaper. Information was really slow then.
It was slow, but it was trusted. Yeah, people read the paper. People watched the nightly news with Walter Cronkite, and they believed it because these were journalists.
What do they do today?
Oh, dude, you just get on your information source of choice. Well, I live in the Fox News bubble, and everybody's a communist and a traitor and a tranny. They tell you what you want to hear. That,
but you get it really fucking fast, so you can be overwhelmed with a lot of misinformation, and you can
exactly.
For instance, farms cull birds. We were talking about that. Mm-hmm. We got that information in a minute, using various methods, carbon dioxide, like I said, or using ventilation to shut down and raise temperatures until the birds die. But my favorite one is they spray firefighting foam on them to suffocate them.
Oh my God, that is awful.
So there you go. Thank you, producer Melissa. So it's disgusting. They kill these birds.
That's horrible.
We have horrible fucking farming and ranching practices in this country, and that's what it's all about. So,
well, there's nothing more fucking disgusting than a pig farm, especially environmental waste
and all the runoff into your water system. Yeah, enjoy.
That's disgusting.
But we've elected to let the pork industry police themselves. So what can go wrong there?
You can't even fly a fucking drone over a shit pond. It's a fucking crime in like North Carolina to fly a drone over and film these disgusting ponds or these disgusting.
Holy shit.
Yeah, dude. They've been slowly eroding our shit, our rights, little bits at a time since we were little kids. Since I threw my last fucking high school party where the cops never dare walk through the threshold of someone's fucking house and violate all sorts of fucking amendments. But now they don't give a fuck. Now they can be stupid and not know the fucking law and have qualified immunity and shoot you in the fucking nuts. And I think Trump got rid of the goddamn fucking civil rights fucking division in the federal government. So now they can just fucking arrest you, hold you, without fucking charge for as long as they want. If you lip off to them, beat the shit out of you, and Trump will go, "That's what I told you guys to do the first time I was in office. Thank you."
Yeah.
That's what fucking idiots voted for. And my fucking head wants to explode every time I think about that. But then I get a fucking stare from my wife, Melissa, going, "Have an apple slice. Calm the fuck down."
You'll feel better.
Okay.
Well,
so
here's the thing, too. I mean, these people don't even know what DEI is. It doesn't mean you automatically get the job based on the color of your skin or your sex. It just means you get an opportunity and they can choose to hire the best person.
Now let's watch the building blocks of this. Trump takes it out of our government. Amazon, who does 50% of the workforce in e-commerce, they now take DEI out. And I saw that last night, Target is now taking it out of their company policy.
So the only thing that makes me feel maybe a little bit better is if these corporations are wise enough to know that there are good people, quality people that can do the job of any color, any sex, and maybe they'll just quietly hire them and not call it a DEI initiative. I hope so, because dude, if you just get a mediocre all white workforce,
we're in trouble.
How many white people do you see driving the Amazon vans delivering that shit?
One chick, I think.
In Cleveland, about half of them. I mean, we have poor people in Cleveland.
I'm just saying, I don't see very many, and I'm not saying it's, I'm just saying that, dude, there are good people that are very competent in any job. And when you just focus on just hiring, especially white people, because honestly, I think a lot of them just have that unearned advantage. They think, well, I'm white. Of course I can walk through and take this job because I'm white.
I knew we were in trouble.
Competition makes everybody better.
Way back.
Iron sharpens iron.
Way back in the early 90s when they started privatizing garbage collection, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I saw all my fucking city workers in Omaha that, came up from the South, got hard fucking paying, good city fucking jobs with pensions and shit. They were all fucking black. Every single one of my garbage men growing up was black. When they privatized that whole thing and they raised the prices on everyone, every single garbage man in Omaha was fucking white. And I see more white garbage men in the last 25 years than I've seen black garbage men, except for the city of Cleveland, who still has their own public garbage for the most part, and you still see black guys. So yeah, dude, I don't fucking privatization, rigging the fucking game, just being a fucking white dude in general. It's a fucking, it's an advantage, but they don't want to admit it. And now he's really rigging the game, and he's going to probably set us back on population growth by millions and millions of people, because white people aren't going to fuck fast enough to make all those babies that Elon Musk wants you to make. And, our big growth, I think by 2038, was supposed to be fucking immigration, because we don't fuck fast enough in this country. And this guy is deporting people in droves.
Yeah.
A shrinking country is not a good thing.
And they're sweeping up everybody. So when they're going to these farms where we talked about California, where the migrants weren't coming to work for fear of being picked up, they were wise, because there's even local, U.S. citizens that are being swept up in this.
Dude, they swept up a Native American Indian, for fuck's sake. Someone who's been here longer than all of us. They swept. Yeah. They don't give a fuck. If you are fucking brown, you are a fucking target.
It's a due process thing too. They're not being put in front of judges. They're literally putting them on U.S. military troop transports and getting them out of here.
Well, Mexico said no, turn that plane around.
Mexico did turn the one around because it was supposed to fly through Mexico, but they didn't tell the president of Mexico. And she was like, well, no, thanks. I'm not doing it.
She's going to be on the list of women that Trump is afraid of.
She should be.
Not to mention the Greenland threat. They're taking that shit seriously, right?
He freaked everybody out.
Oh, yeah. They said he had a very contentious conversation with
he just thinks it's ours. They owe it to us. We need it.
Yeah, no, you're not getting it. And
that's not how it works.
So your stooge that's running the Defense Department can send in troops, but I guarantee you that's not going to be popular.
Yeah, absolutely not. The only thing before we get off this topic, is we did 20 minutes, and I think that's pretty generous of us on these topics that are making us all sick.
Especially on a Saturday.
Exactly. The largest outbreak of TB in Kansas history is going on. That's your update.
Wow.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Wasn't that eradicated? through vaccine?
No.
Tuberculosis?
Well, yeah, it was a rare thing. It's not like there's a vaccine for it, but there are ways to avoid it that we're no longer really caring for.
Refresh my memory, because I know we talked about it. What was the one that left a little 4-pronged scar that we got in grade school?
That's tuberculosis tests.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was a test.
Oh, okay.
I one last thing I want to say, and this to me is extremely offensive, but in the Air Force curriculum, basic curriculum that they have all their new cadets come in, they are no longer going to teach about the Tuskegee Airmen, which to me, I don't understand why.
Fucking bullshit.
It's extremely offensive.
Yeah,
Well,
dude, these
not
guys.
to mention those fuckers saved a lot of fucking white people's asses.
Yeah, they did, because those
But
bomber crews that they escorted and defended were all white.
I think honestly, what's happening right now are white people are like feeling what black people have felt their entire fucking lives.
Probably.
Right now. Like,
Yeah,
I
I've
see
seen
this
it.
shit like, yeah, okay. Yeah, of course.
If you're
it is.
against
Of
this
course they
shit,
are.
we're all black now. So let's fucking
You
let's
guys,
stay
as you
together.
freak out, we're just going, you know what? Maybe we just set this fucking one out and let you guys eat each other because fuck they, no, seriously, dude. Melissa and I were fucking listening to this goddamn fucking pod. Remember Chandra Levy?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Driving back home from Omaha a couple weeks ago or last week, listening to this 3-part series on Chandra Levy, right? And Gary Condit pops into the whole Gary Condit situation. This guy's a fucking disgusting. He's a Democrat, by the way. Disgusting, miserable fuck. And this is all allegedly, by the way, because this motherfucker is quite litigious. He fucking sues. So this whole fucking show is allegedly. But he's banging cocktail waitresses left and right. Sorry, Melissa. No, he's like banging 18-year-olds. Chandra goes missing, right? And Chandra just happens to be talking, and Chandra's mom's talking to the gardener. And Chandra's mom goes, yeah, my daughter's doing well in D.C. She's working for like the Department of Prisons or something for an internship. And she goes to USC, but she's finishing up at USC during this internship. And, my daughter knows this congressman and everything's going well, so she might get a job and everything. And the gardener stops in his tracks and goes, what's the congressman's name? And she's like, it's Gary Condit. And she's like, get the fuck away from that guy. That guy slept with my daughter. My daughter went into hiding. She was 18 years old. And he threatened her fucking life.
Wow.
Just fucking insane, right? But the point I'm making is Democrats have been doing shit to us for years. Gary Condit was part of the Blue Dog Democrats, right?
Oh, those fuckers, yeah.
Remember the Bush tax cuts? So when all this shit's going on, the Chandra Levy thing gets overshadowed by 9/11, of course. But what we forget in fucking history is there's all these fucking Blue Dog Democrats. Gary Condit leading the way, having lunch with Cheney fucking once a week to give rich people a $1.6 trillion tax cut. Democrats, especially white guy Democrats, have been doing this shit to us, fucking Joe Mancioning us, fucking Kristen Sinema and us for fucking decades. And something big happens and we fucking forget about it. This piece of shit is the one who got the ball rolling on tax cuts for the rich. Gary Condit, right there, a fucking Democrat, and his Central California Blue Dog fucking buddies. This shit has been happening to us for far too long. And I say all that to roll back to the point, black people have been watching this shit for too long. And as a half black guy myself, fuck you, Democrats. I'm fucking done. I ain't fucking doing this bullshit anymore where you can get some fucking perverted fucking white guy from the Central fucking Valley to come in and blow the whole thing up and give all the money to the rich people. I literally think black people are done with this shit. Do I know what the new fucking plan is? Absolutely not. But for fuck's sake, whatever the Democrats are doing, it doesn't fucking work. And I swear to God, I think they're doing it on purpose so they don't ever have to fucking do anything for it.
Probably.
They're going to get their wish. They're going to get their wish.
All right. Go ahead, Billy. Closing point.
Closing point, dude, they did not fight for us. When it became apparent to anybody and everybody that this election, these numbers did not add up, that with all these unprecedented new voters, the voter turnout was lower. The bomb threats on black voting stations in Georgia, the numbers, right? The fact that Trump was panicking, he knew he was going to lose 2 weeks before the election. And then Elon Musk steps in and, Elon, he knows those computers better than anybody. There was plenty of smoke to see if there was a fire, and they did nothing. Nothing.
I think the bottom line was it came down to only one person could file that petition, and it was Kamala.
And she didn't.
As Gene pointed out, she was so far in debt, and she had no support inside the Democratic Party. I think we know that.
And again, why? And in 2000, it was like Al Gore, the Black Congressional Caucus was behind you, and you left them hanging. Why? Because that's how we do it. No, something was clearly wrong, and you guys did not do anything about it. You rolled over, and I cannot forgive. I'm sorry, I can't.
In fairness
All right,
Gore,
sorry, Rob. 25 minutes. We apologize.
In fairness to Gore, it went to the Supreme Court, and Sandra Day O'Connor helped them make a decision that they said they never wanted to see anything like this in front of them again. Here we are today. They'd be happy to see anything like that. Robert's court, they would love it.
And she regretted it later in life.
Yeah,
and
let me Monday morning quarterback that. What if Al Gore and his sidekick, Edwards, get us out into the fucking streets? Like, get us out into the fucking streets going, this is bullshit. We can never let some shit like, would we have Trump today? You got to think about the fucking, you got to think about the fucking.
Edwards had his own trouble.
No, Al Gore's sidekick was,
or not Al, yeah, not Edwards.
Thank you.
That guy who was
Lieberman
was repugnant. I don't even know who came up with that choice. That guy was universally unpopular. He was basically a Republican.
Worst guy ever.
I have no idea
why. The Democratic Party always has a few guys in there that fuck it up for us, dude. That's the whole point we were trying to make the last 5 minutes.
They should hire us as Democratic strategists.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, all of Kamala's Democratic strategists were white dudes, just like all of Bill Clinton's. And
they all sucked. They were all shitty at their job.
But they're rich.
Yeah. And again, it's like that cartoon we talked about. They're all, they fucking go head to head during the campaign. And once it's over, they go out for steaks and cocktails and have a good laugh at us. Kamala, maybe her pride is hurt. Yeah. Maybe she feels bad, but dude, her life is not going to change. She's not affected by this because she's in the club.
It's
I can't forgive that. I'm sorry, but I can't.
Not on her.
And
you know who they want to let back into the club, right? Don Lemon wants to let Matt Lauer back into the club. He wants to uncancel him because he goes to dinner with him with his husband and shit, and thinks Matt's a good guy, even though he had a secret button that fucking locked women in so he could sexually assault them. Allegedly.
Yeah. Way to go, Don. Yeah, you're in the club.
It's boomers, dude. Boomers are they're fucking like boomer supremacists or something. Nothing they do.
Boomer. That's a great term, boomer supremacist. I love it.
It doesn't matter if they're black or white, fucking whatever. They literally forget the shit they've done to fuck people over.
They don't care.
Let's bring it back in the fold. They shouldn't be cancelable. Or it's crazy.
Well, here's the whole thing, and I'll just make one last point, and then we can go into some fun stuff. They talk about cancel culture, right? Cancel culture is nothing more than capitalism. If I don't like something, I'm not buying it, right? If your product sucks, I'm not going to buy it. If it offends me, I'm not going to buy it. If your movie stinks, I'm not going to see it. Yeah. You're not canceled. You just fucked up and put out something that people don't like.
For sure.
But they're the first ones to cry and complain about it. Oh, I've been canceled. You haven't been canceled. You suck. That's what it comes down to. And it's just, these people are always the fucking victim.
Well, and I don't think I've unsubscribed to so many emails in the last 4 days in my life on the internet, because anything from the bullet shot glass from Trump and the shirts from Trump, unsubscribe, not interested. I don't want to see it. I don't want to talk about him. I don't want to see his shit.
You're not going to buy his meme coin. You idiot. You need to get in low right
it's
now.
Too late. All the money's flooded out. What am I? The people that put in 12,500, it's now worth 2,500. So,
and speaking of which, we haven't seen the pump and dump girl in 3 weeks after she fucking tanked her fucking meme coin.
Yeah, what's going on there? Is she being prosecuted?
No.
In Trump's administration, no, dude. She's going to be celebrated and given the Congressional Medal of fucking Freedom, probably.
She seemed like a nice kid. It's a shame. She got a lot of bad advice. And
well, we're going to wait and see how she plays out.
She's rich.
Well,
she doesn't
maybe not anymore.
Waste her time researching for a podcast anymore. She gets to fucking sleep in.
Well, she was offered to do a morning show 5 days for 1 week, 20 grand on Dave somebody's morning show. So we'll see. She could use some money.
Was it Dave Portnoy?
I don't know.
Barstool guy?
I'll wait for
No,
that.
no, no, no. It was
Premises,
just
so
some
long
radio
as I have it back
DJ.
on.
Okay, dude, what does she even talk about? I don't even understand what she talks about on that podcast. And I read
I
that
don't know.
article where like the comments are just out of left field. People are like, "Oh, I can't start my day without Hawk Tua. Every morning when I wake up, I listen to Hawk Tua, and my day is awesome." Like, dude, you're not even good at writing
Sounds like
fake
AI to
comments.
me.
Yeah.
I would rather watch a girl podcast spitting out Tourette's dropping the N-word than fucking Hawk Tua talk for a fucking hour.
Oh, there's a show. Is it on the Learning Channel about the
You
young
just
girl with
upset
Tourette's?
Rob. Rob just did this, Bill. Did you see this? Oh God, here we go. We're going
Go
down.
on, Billy. Tell the story.
I'll
Of
make
the,
it quick. It's really entertaining, dude. She's very funny, and she's had to
Yeah.
overcome a lot of shit. And it seems like a nice family, but she seems like a really good kid.
You know the name of the show?
My Life or something.
It's a girl, a teenage girl.
It's a 21-year-old from West Virginia who's had Tourette's her whole life, and she also has OCD. So she's got a bunch of tics, and she's just
You know
kind
what?
of
I think it would
overcoming
be
it.
helpful to know her name and the name of the show.
I don't know.
Well, you can
All
find
right.
out. There's a
All
way.
right.
Use the Google machine.
Hey, producer Melissa, get these two brothers to stop fighting. Let's move on.
Jesus,
Next thing.
man.
Jeez.
We're
Let's move
moving
on.
on.
But anyway,
Rob.
so yeah,
Good one, Billy. All right.
my work here is done.
I'll
Yeah.
check it out afterwards.
You're not going to cancel me.
You
I
had
love
20
a cute girl
minutes.
with Tourette's. That's
Now we're in the
going in.
31-minute mark.
those
I don't want to
CDs.
talk about the orange guy. I just want people to know what the policies are, and you make your decision whether you like it or not. I don't
All right.
like them, so I'm moving on.
I don't either. We're
right.
agreed.
You move
So,
on, buddy.
My
Moving
question
on.
for you two: have you ever had a locksmith experience? Come out to your house or go to a shop?
I don't think so.
Gino?
Can we go back to the Hawk Tua girl?
No, we
I'm
can't.
just kidding. Yeah, of course I've had a locksmith out of my house. You want me to admit I've locked myself out of the house? Yeah.
It wasn't exactly like that. I have a 100-year-old lock, so I tried to go to Home Depot. I went to Menards. They can't make the key, so I had to go to an actual locksmith shop. It was a little intimidating to me. They have so much stuff beyond just keys and locks. The gentleman, not only his side piece, but he's got a buck knife. And everywhere in the store, there's like surveillance, and then they sell stuff. It's like checkout at Home Depot where you could use all this stuff for surveillance, fake rocks, fake plants to do your spying. I tried not to speak unless I was spoken to because I felt like I was almost in a pawn shop with this guy. I mean, it was quite an experience. This guy's probably a little bit more realistic to what you're dealing with, but they have all kinds of interesting things. Not only I tried to Google images and they had none for locksmith in general.
So basically what you're saying is you think your significant other is cheating on you. Go to the locksmith. He's got a secret camera for you. This is where we see all these videos on YouTube and shit.
All kinds of stuff. So they have safes, big giant safes like you saw in the old movies.
Man-size safe?
Obviously multi-locks, lubricants, surveillance cameras.
What do you mean lubricants? Wait. Bill's curious. What kind of lubricants?
Yeah, what
anything that you can put a hinge on a door to lock somebody in a closet, apparently.
or to keep the gimp in the box.
Handcuffs, bear spray, wallets. I mean,
bear spray. Find me some bear spray. I definitely use fucking bear spray on a motherfucker.
And I only say that because a lot of people have the locksmith come to their house, and just know that these guys have a real presence to them. Spend some time in their shop, and you'll show due respect to these gents.
What the fuck were you afraid of, dude? I mean, if he gimped you anyway, you have all the tools to get out of the locksmith's fucking shop. It's a locksmith, for fuck's sake.
You got to get out of that box.
How are you getting out of that?
Why is he so intimidating? I don't
understand. He seemed almost like a bounty hunter. Like he was just tolerating me coming in there. And yeah, he made the key.
Bounty hunters are fucking intimidating? Are you wanted for something? What the fuck are you talking about? Well, I mean, what do you have to worry about a bounty hunter for? You think
my point is, it's the vibe that I got that he was ready to act. So when he said how many keys I wanted, I was like 5, 6, all of them.
So you walked in there basically and you thought, oh, this guy's carrying a gun somewhere on his body. That's
he had a gun. I saw the gun.
Oh, see, that's all you had to say.
I told you he had a side piece gun and he had
Oh,
a
I didn't
butt
hear that
knife
part.
the size of my arm. Yeah,
So,
it was intimidating.
Well, here's a
Cool.
question. Do you think can they pair up my replacement key fob for me?
I don't
Oh
know.
yeah,
I saw them at
absolutely.
that thing.
They sell them behind the glass. Yeah.
Cheaper than a dealership? Because I ordered it, but it's not keyed up, so I have to like stick it in the emergency hole every
I
time
would
I
go
start my
there
car.
for
But
sure. You know,
Yeah,
it's an interesting
well, if
place.
I don't come
because-
back, you better come look for me.
Now
just
you'd
let
make
me-
a good gimp. You're
Just
small.
let me know when you
You
go.
would fit in the vinyl fucking outfit for sure. Or was that leather? I don't know. Bill would know. Was that leather or vinyl, Bill?
Those guys look pretty low rent. I'm gonna say it was probably pleather.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I don't like really tight stuff. That's not a gig for me.
You want a better look, Gene? That
Mm.
looks like it's pleather.
That's definitely Bill.
And it's not me. I don't like that. And
I mean, he has your frame, is what I'm saying. It's not you, of course.
Here's the thing. A lot of people question whether he died in the movie, right? After he got punched out and kind of was left hanging there.
Yeah.
According to Tarantino, yes, that was the end of the gimp.
Oh, okay.
What the fuck was on the back of Marcellus Wallace's head?
Apparently, it was like just a coincidence that he had like a cut on his head. It was just like one of those.
It wasn't fucking like some little. Okay.
Yeah, some people say that was where his soul was extracted, and that was what was in the briefcase.
Okay. So,
A lot of theories about that.
These are the key fobs, just so you know. I think you probably could go in there. I will give you a point of reference. This pawn shop, or this locksmith, sorry, not pawn shop, was right next to one of those Asian sunrise massage places that your friend's girlfriend opened.
He was your friend too.
Hey, I helped him move furniture. I didn't know what it was.
And every time you went to his house, you didn't know if you were coming back.
Yeah, I stopped going into the house. I figured I didn't want to be buried out
Are
back.
you talking about the type of place like an NFL owner would go to get washed up and shit?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Huh. Well.
So now you know where to take your.
How much do those cost to open? I thought those were sex slaves. I didn't realize you could open.
Well, there were some cots in there and a refrigerator and stuff, but I tried to get out of there fairly quickly because none of the ladies were there. It was just Jim, and I thought
All those bitches are getting deported in Trump's fucking. Well, no, those will be the only ones that don't get deported because they're sex workers.
Well, we talked about this.
Well, the old ones will be deported.
There's some friends in his industry that he's not going to send immigration out to their farms and stuff. So we'll have just enough for certain people to eat, but maybe not all of us.
But they will jack up the price.
Yes. So that's my
Speaking
take.
of which, by the way, just I went to Aldi yesterday because I didn't leave the house for 3 fucking days because it was super cold, and my producer Melissa's under the weather.
Sorry to hear that.
I couldn't talk her into going out. Usually, I can gaslight her into go grocery shopping for me, but she wouldn't do it.
So no rage walks.
Swollen goddamn lymph nodes or some shit. I don't know what's wrong with her. That's her problem. Anyway, eggs were $4.17 a dozen at my Aldi. Have you guys been paying attention at all?
Yeah.
And,
I saw like $11 for the best ones at Trader Joe's.
Chicken thighs were like $5 a pound, and chicken legs were like $4.50 a pound or some shit like that. I'm just I pay attention now because shit's going up.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm guessing
rapidly.
Guessing those chicken parts are going to be dropping.
Yeah, I don't know.
That price may be coming down.
I don't care what Rob says about fucking bird flu. I'm eating that fucking chicken. Fuck
Chicken thighs are good.
I just wanted to close on the locksmith. I do give props to them, but I felt like I was dealing with this guy from The Simpsons, and maybe you're familiar with him. He was very helpful to El Barto when they were trying to take back the town.
Bart's Army. Yeah.
I doubt anybody can be a locksmith. There's got to be some laws involved because they have the power of God in their hands. They can get into anything.
You have to be certified to be one. There is a course for it. You can, and obviously they've.
But it's got to be like being a trucker. If you get caught once as a long haul trucker on drugs, you lose your CDL like fucking forever.
Yeah, no, you're right.
A locksmith fucking up, I imagine you wouldn't want to fuck up and lose your locksmith license. It's lucrative on its own.
Next thing you know, you're doing it out of a van and showing up at suburban houses.
Wasn't the BTK? Didn't he work for a security company? He was like,
he worked for a company. He worked for ATD or ADT.
He did, and dude, it was funny because when when Mindhunter was on, right,
Love
that first season,
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching that, and at work I was working on some stuff for ADT security, right?
Oh
And
wow.
and I saw that, right? The van pulls up and he goes in and he's kind of like, normal looking, but still kind of creepy, putting out those creepy vibes, unlocking the window and leaving it unlocked. Like, ooh, fucking creepy, dude.
Yeah, that guy. That's his story for another day because that was terrifying.
Super creepy.
So we had asked the listeners, viewers, to give us some one-liners from some movies that let you know who the person was.
Mhm.
So I wanted to jump to this real quick. I'm sure we've all seen Night Shift.
Brokers.
Love Brokers was one of the ones I wanted to put up. The other one is, well, I have several, but my point is when somebody says, gosh, you kind of have an idea it's Napoleon Dynamite. So asking you guys, did you have any that you came up with?
Oh, I
hell yeah.
I wrote down a couple of Melissa's favorites. Dorothy Boyd, you know who that is?
That name sounds familiar.
All right, how about this? Shut up, you had me at hello. You know who that? Jerry Maguire.
Yeah. Jerry Maguire.
Jerry Maguire, Dorothy Boyd. What's her fucking name? The British chick.
Yeah. Oh my God. Why can't I think of her name?
Okay. How about
Renee Zellweger. Yes.
How about this, Dorothy? Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore. That's kind of a big.
That's a good one. One of
Melissa, I think one of Melissa's favorites, because those were just warm ups. But the one we both laugh at is Andrea Martin. You guys know where I'm going? From SCTV.
Love her.
What does she say? What do you mean he don't eat no meat? It's okay. I make a lamb. What movie is that from?
My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Correct. That fucking line cracks me the fuck up. So those are
hilarious.
We
did have one of our listeners, Vern, who comments quite a bit. Went with
Good
this
Doctor.
one. I'll have what she's having, which is a classic. Also, the go ahead make my.
Who said that, Rob?
It was Rob Reiner's mom.
Yeah. Give people context for fuck's sake. Rob
Sorry.
Reiner, he had a little cookie, a little hidden little thing in there with his mom.
All right. Well, maybe I should put the picture back up so you can see her again in the background. There she is. Rob Reiner's
woman,
mom.
about Rosen's age now. Rose would probably date her, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One of my favorites is they said the sheriff was hung. And they were right.
They was right.
You're making a German spectacle of yourself.
Ruben's my limit. Dude, that shit was so funny. You guys know that Richard Pryor was supposed to star in that, but the studios would not let him, so he ended up being a writer on it.
Dude,
not that this guy didn't fucking knock it out of the fucking park, but that was written for Richard Pryor, which is funny.
Dude, that was classic. So many good lines in that movie.
Someone go back and get a shitload of dimes after they got stopped at the toll booth. Oh fuck! Every fucking line in that movie made me.
Oh boys, where are the white women at?
Where the KKK shit? Oh yeah,
with the have a nice day.
Look what I got here. Yeah.
Where are the white women at?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's Headley.
Yeah. That's Headley and Lamar.
How did he do those stunts with such tiny little feet?
That's a fucking dude. You could do a whole podcast on that movie alone. So
I think maybe we should. We'll give Bill Simmons a run for his money.
Or anything Mel Brooks did. History of the World Part 1. Fucking. I mean, he didn't do. Oh, I didn't like Part 2. That just came out. Yeah, that was.
I don't think I saw that one.
That was the Inquisition.
Nick Kroll and somebody else wrote that shit.
Really?
Yeah, it was a television series on Netflix like last year.
Oh, I did not see that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was History of the World Part 2. So.
Okay. They also had the. I'm going to need those TPS reports ASAP.
Okay.
Oh, that's Breakfast Club.
Okay.
Lumberg.
She
fucked Lumberg.
Office Space.
Oh, let's go see my O face.
Oh. I should have known that one.
Also a classic.
So you've been missing a lot of work.
Wait, are these from the people that are listening? Are these from the listeners or are these from you?
These were from myself.
Oh, okay.
I will give you some of the listener stuff.
Vern had some good ones.
He did. Do you have them in front of you?
I do.
Read it, buddy.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
Jaws?
Jaws, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Here's an easy one. Go ahead and make my day.
Clint Eastwood.
Oh, the guy that talked to chairs at Republican conventions.
Yeah. Houston, we have a problem.
Apollo
Right
13.
Man. That was
Oh
awesome.
no, isn't that all?
Apollo 13.
Apollo 13, right?
Yep, Gene nailed
What'd
it.
you say, Rob?
I said All the Right Men. Was that not an astronaut
All
movie?
the Right Men.
What was that?
The right stuff.
All the
Thank
right
you.
stuff. Oh god, that one's
All the
older
Right
than
Men.
Apollo 13. That one was that was an 80s movie, wasn't it?
Yeah, 83. It was based on a book by Tom Wolfe. It was a good book. It was a really good movie too.
Yeah, absolutely. It was long.
Yeah, Sam Shepard, right? He played Chuck Yeager.
Yep.
I barely remember that movie, but I remember
played Alan Shepard, right? And what's his face? Chuck
Barbara
Yeager played himself.
Barbara Hershey. She
Barbara
was
Hershey, yeah,
the wife of Chuck Yeager.
of Sam Shepard in that movie.
Correct.
And Chuck Yeager played himself. Or no. Well, Chuck Yeager had a cameo.
Was he in the bar? I don't remember.
Yeah.
He played a part in the bar.
It was Poncho's Happy Riding Club, I think was the name of the bar.
Where all the pilots drank.
Yeah. Sam Shepard played Chuck Yeager.
Correct.
And the other guy played Alan Shepard. I can't think of his name. He was the guy from Millennium. You know that guy?
I don't fucking remember.
Oh yeah.
He was the head of the FBI in Silence of the Lambs. What the fuck was his name?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. But,
I know.
There were some good one-liners in Silence of the Lambs, was there not? Good one-liners. So
it puts the lotion in the basket.
Yeah. You do that very well, Bill. Terrifying.
You know who did it really well was it either Tobeck or Willig? One of those guys did it. Put the fucking lotion in the basket.
I could see Willig doing it naturally. Tobeck, that's a stretch, really? I don't know. Maybe. Anything else? What other lines are memorable?
Up your ass or the red hot poker? Anybody?
Robbie Benson.
One-on-one. One-on-one. He was all district. Here's a photo of Robbie Benson, who nobody remembers.
How the fuck did you remember that fucking movie?
I don't know. We talked about it like a month ago, and I was like, nobody even remembers that movie.
Our dad, we saw a lot of movies in the 70s because our dad on Saturdays for his parents' weekend, because our parents were divorced, would take us to see movies. Usually it was shit you didn't even want to see. Like we wanted to see Towering Inferno. He took us to see some, I don't even know what that was.
We saw Roller Coaster. That was awesome.
We did see Roller Coaster.
If you want to know what they came out with.
And he did take us to see Longest Yard.
Yeah.
You want to know why they came out with those 80s like I kick ass fucking stud movies? It's because they started off with Robbie Benson and then graduated to Ralph fucking Macchio, and they're like, "Nah, fuck that. We got to make some fucking rainbows and diehards and shit.
Yeah, right.
This is not good. All these beta males playing athletes and shit."
Good point.
But I still watch Ralph Macchio to this day because I love the Cobra Kai series. That's fucking fantastic. I think they might make a movie. As a matter of fact.
Wow.
I watched like the first 3 seasons and it just kept going, but it was good.
We grew into Rambo.
Or some shit, and then,
a lot tougher.
Graduated to Netflix.
But there was actually a bit of a backlash to that because when it came time to cast for I'm spacing Die Hard. Right? Bruce Willis was the TV actor for Moonlight, considered kind of a lightweight. And so when they brought up the idea of casting him in that role, they're like, he's kind of a wimp.
Right.
That was the exact words. He's kind of a wimp, but they wanted to get away from the jacked up, roided up dude carrying around the 50 caliber machine gun to a more believable character and kind of reverse that trend a bit.
Yeah.
It weirdly followed the same trend as the WWE. All those guys super jacked all through the fucking 80s and whatever. And then all of a sudden roll into the 2000s and they all weigh like 205, much leaner. So it's kind of weird how that shit ebbs and flows.
Those guys tended to die early.
That's true. Whether by their own hand or, drugs.
Oh, dude. Well, just, jacked up on roids and HGH and testosterone and that grueling schedule, right? And the beating they took. I mean, yeah, the matches were, the outcome was determined, but those guys were still athletes. I mean, they took,
for sure.
They took a beating. Kurt Angle, your high school classmate and Olympic gold medal
Yeah, dude, he's a real wrestler. I mean, a real wrestler.
He was a real wrestler. Never did steroids through high school. He wrestled as a heavyweight champ at Clarion in Pennsylvania. Never took any steroids, and I
Gold
can
medal?
attest to that. I was at his house a lot. He worked out. He didn't go out on Fridays. Weekends, he was in the weight room in his garage. He had a hard time when his father passed due to a construction accident. Then he found WWE, and we were down in Atlanta when he won the gold for the Olympics, and they talked about maybe him coming in and D-line type of thing, but
really?
Way too small. Well,
you heard that story about him and Brock Lesnar, right?
Brock
got on the WWE and hounded him. Brock Lesnar was an NCAA champion, totally different than a fucking Olympic gold medalist.
Sure.
But Brock kept challenging Kurt over and over again, kept challenging him for about a year. And finally he's like, all right, I'll wrestle you. Wrestled him for like one round. And Kurt whipped his ass, but Brock's huge. He's like, it wasn't easy, but he schooled him. He techniqued the fuck out of him. And he wrestled him for real. But had respect for Brock afterwards because it wasn't easy, considering Brock had never wrestled at the Olympic level.
Well, and once Kurt started on the steroid and the WWE train, it really messed with his health, obviously. He was taking Vicodin out the wazoo.
He said he was taking like, I thought, and I could be wrong, he said he was taking like 20 a day.
Easy,
which, that'll destroy your liver.
Those are Brett Favre numbers.
Seriously.
I mean,
and
allegedly, Rob.
Allegedly, yes.
Good point.
But, those guys, and they're on the road like 300 days a year.
Well, and these guys had better travel than some of the older guys. I mean, when I was younger, I'd watch WWF. I mean, Jimmy Snuka beat his girlfriend to death in a hotel room. I mean, they would lose their mind through drugs and alcohol after the fact, on top of that schedule. I mean, they would drive to their events. They'd be in the back just throwing down 30 packs. I mean, it was a tough job, and it was extremely entertaining.
Yeah, but I mean, those guys took a beating.
Omaha had a circuit, a wrestling circuit. I can't remember the name of it, but it was really big in Omaha growing up. I never went for it because my dad was an actual high school wrestling coach, and he kind of like, this shit ain't real. He didn't use the word "ain't" either because he was a high school teacher, but he's like, this shit isn't real. And so I never took to it. My brother loved that shit.
I had a friend, Sean, and he would, I was in 7th grade, and we would sleep out to get tickets for WWE or WWF at the time. And then his parents would drop us down there, and it would just be us, a couple of 7th graders hanging out down there. It wasn't to the point where you had that guy who scream and punch him in the dick, but it was pretty intense. I mean, the fans, it was somewhat believable at the time. We didn't realize how much entertainment it was. Clearly, we didn't think it was real, but it was really entertaining. And to me, it was funny that I was allowed to stay out overnight to get tickets and then go down to the Civic Arena to watch.
Dude, that was Gen X.
My wife did that many times for concert tickets. Got into the front row and spent the night with her girlfriends. That was the last.
And it was fun.
It was fun. It was like a party out there.
Yeah, dude, we had it better. I swear to God, we had it better.
Just dropped off and picked up whenever the S9 time was. Just dropped off.
I don't even know about picked up. But we were dropped off if you were lucky. Otherwise, you took a sleeping bag. You went up there and hid your beer.
You didn't get picked up. You didn't get picked up after you got your tickets.
You walked everywhere, man.
You found your way home.
Pittsburghers are tough.
Dude, we had Bruno Sammartino. He was a wrestling legend from Pittsburgh.
Did he? That was his name, Bruno Sammartino?
Bruno Sammartino.
But that's your only statement about him? You're not going to tell me shit about him? Just we had Bruno Sammartino and that's it, huh?
Well, he was a wrestling legend.
Thanks, Bill.
I don't know.
I'm kidding. Anyway, I think Rob's fucking mutant right now. Either his dogs or his wife are telling him what to fucking do. So he's so we have to keep talking. That's
Kevin. Who's that guy?
You see that guy? I haven't seen that guy.
Keep walking.
What's he looking at?
Right, red right, reverse at 9.
All right.
That's another great movie line. Wait a minute, I got one more.
Right.
So tomorrow morning, I'm going to come into your bank, and if you don't have my money, I'm going to split your fucking head open. And by the time you're coming out of your coma, I'll be out of jail and I'm going to come back. And if you don't have my money, I'm going to do it again. What movie was that?
I have no idea, dude. That sounds very violent.
Joe Pesci, Casino?
Yeah.
Oh, Casino?
Yes. Oh, it was awesome.
All of Joe Pesci's characters run into that exact same fucking
For sure.
soliloquy. Fucking him saying something about fucking.
Could have been Goodfellas. Could have been
Uh-huh.
Casino. For
Yeah.
sure.
Except for The Irishman, he was very he was great in that movie. Very underplayed,
Also,
very
a Bronx
understated.
Tale.
Understated. I
Bronx
didn't.
Tale,
I
yeah.
didn't see The Irishman.
Did you see a Bronx Tale?
No, dude. Yes, I saw Bronx Tale.
That was good. Pesci was good in that. He was a guy who was getting his head bashed in for a parking spot, which wasn't for a parking spot.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bunch of other
shit.
stuff.
Okay, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, because he came in at the end when Sonny got murdered. He came in to tell
Right.
Steve that if you need anything.
And Sonny was the one who actually wrote the movie, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He wanted to do a one-man show. He wouldn't sell it to anybody. And then I think De Niro.
Chaz Palminteri.
Yes.
Chaz Palminteri, who was also fucking hilarious in a few episodes of Modern Family. So
yeah.
Oh, I don't think I ever saw those.
I saw him fairly recently. I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, Mitchell thought that he was best friends with Mitchell's dad, and Mitchell thought he was gay. Mitchell had his gay on. He thought he was gay, but he actually just was $50,000 in debt.
I think I did see that one. Come to think of it,
that's pretty fucking funny. But yeah, that was Bronx Tale was really good. Whatever happened to the fucking kid in the Bronx Tale?
Oh, dude, he ran into some problems.
Went to Sopranos. Really? Then during it, he got into.
John did it.
He got into he had a drug problem.
In real life.
They went to rob a drug dealer, and a cop got shot, and he went and did some time.
Oh, that was in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
God, he did time for that. Okay. Yep. I forgot about that. Completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
So kudos on the movies. Thanks to Vern. Those were some great one-liners.
Great job, Vern.
We do have some big things coming up, and I want to start with some football this weekend, Gene.
Mm-hmm.
Chiefs and Bills are playing tomorrow. They're the late game. The early game is Washington and Philadelphia. I wanted to start with the Chiefs, though, first. Everybody complains about officiating, and they think Mahomes, we talked about this, he extends plays just to try and draw calls, which is kind of lame. The NFL did a tricky little thing in the last 24 hours, which was they named this referee crew. I think his name is Blakeman. The Chiefs are 5-6 in games that he does. Blakeman's crew, generally, the home team is 5-11. The Bills are 6-2 when this guy does his games. And Mahomes will have a little bit of a problem getting those roughing the passers because Allen gets some kind of peripheral treatment in this case. Maybe it's because he's bigger. Maybe it's because he's running constantly. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But it'll be something to watch tomorrow and just kind of see how that plays out. I hate that the officials have anything to do with this stuff.
Well, last week was so blatant.
Yeah. So
it was ridiculous.
Some people think they want the Chiefs to three-peat. Some think they don't. So we'll see what this crew does and if it matters at all. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I mean, listen, the Chiefs are a very good team, man. You don't win that many games without being a good team. I mean, Mahomes is a phenomenally talented player. I mean, Travis Kelce, that guy may be the best tight end that ever played.
Yeah.
Apologies to Harper LaBelle.
Long snapper. Didn't you mean Mitch Lyons? But all right.
Big play, Mitch. Awesome dude. Did the right thing at Michigan State too. Great guy.
He did. Yes, he did.
But dude, I mean, come on. Some of those calls and
That's
just
Blakeman.
And that right tackle
Non-stop,
in motion all the time, and it never got called.
Yeah.
So at least put it out on even playing field. But honestly, you know, I would like to see the Bills get one. That fan base and that team, they deserve a break, man.
Well, and you saw that one of the Bills fans started a GoFundMe for Mark Andrews. because their fans, they'll support any team for a good cause.
They do that when kickers miss kicks. They'll go to the
Mhm.
kicker. Bills have been doing that shit for a couple
Yeah,
decades.
I think it's awesome.
Yeah, they're classy, man.
They are.
It's a great
Oh,
fan
yeah,
base.
yeah. The first time I went to a fucking Bills game when I got drafted by the Dolphins, we're driving by in the team bus, and a 70-year-old grandma was standing in the back of a pickup truck and turned around and fucking mooned us all. Super fucking classy. That was my first fucking game in Buffalo. Super. I was like, was that a chick? And they're like, you didn't see balls, did you? I was like, holy shit, they were rough in Buffalo. It looked a lot like Rob Reiner's mom, too. I'm just saying.
Could
But
have
anyway,
been.
yeah. But no, they're classy and as far as like donating to charities or feel because they felt it, because they've had those 4 losses.
Man. Yeah.
When they feel for someone, they will go
Mhm.
and find a way to try to make that person feel better. They've been doing that for fucking years.
If they can win a Super Bowl, Thurman Thomas said he would jump through that table. He'll do the table drop.
Well,
Oh, I'd love to see it.
I'm glad the officiating is on par with going to be, I guess, an evenly called game where no one can say that Kansas City has an advantage with the officiating this time.
Mhm.
That being said, wasn't that fucking NBA ref that went to prison for gambling? Wasn't he just on 60 Minutes talking about how they used to
Iverson.
play games against Allen Iverson?
Yeah.
Because they didn't fucking like him. Literally
Yep.
just because they didn't like the motherfucker. They were fucking teeing him up more, calling more fouls on him, calling traveling, and calling all sorts of shit on him.
Dude, that's
Just
appalling.
'cause they didn't like him. And that's the ones that weren't fucking gambling. So, I mean,
That's
human
crazy.
nature does come in. You definitely don't want AI to take over officiating or anything, but let's face it, man. These motherfuckers are humans.
Yeah.
There was an incident a few years ago. Wasn't somebody coaching or reffing a New Orleans game that was a New Orleans fan or some shit? Wasn't that like 10 years ago?
Oh, was it the one that missed that blatant pass interference call in the championship game?
I don't know. Anyway, I'm just saying, human nature is human nature.
Well, and you look at that.
You can't take that out of the equation.
You look at that last Super Bowl where they called that, whether it was defensive holding or pass interference at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Not a great time to interject yourself into the game. I think Philly would have kicked a field goal, and then we could have seen the Chiefs would have kicked a field goal, and we could have seen if Philly could have taken the ball down the field.
And pre-social media, dude, pre-social media and pre all this fucking whatever, refs didn't do shit like that. They did not. When it came down to the fucking wire, they let you fucking play 9 times out of 10. So
for sure.
It's hard for a Gen Xer to watch that shit, watching refs intervene. And dude, this shit happens to the Cavs. Fucking time. Go ahead.
There's no flow to the game. Like you're like, oh my God, that was a great catch. And then it's like, well, we're going to review it. Let's go to break. We'll come back. Did he get both feet in? Was it bobbles? It was 1 foot twice. Like, come on, guys. You're ruining the spirit of the game. Like the whole flow.
That Jesse James call was bullshit.
That was the worst call ever. And it started that whole scenario where they just fucking change outcomes.
Nobody yells at Secaucus. Yeah, that's for the NBA games more than my wife Melissa when they fuck up a Cavs call and they got to take it up to Secaucus and I was like, fuck Secaucus, they're gonna fuck it up, and they always do against the Cavs. Dude, the Browns, the Cavs, the Ohio, the whole Ohio sports professional world. Nobody's suffered like them. I mean, I see how the Bills have suffered, but nobody suffered like we fucking suffered. And we did get that lucky 2016 championship. But we always feel like we're getting fucked on calls. Other than Ohio State, and any sports team in Ohio, we always feel like we're getting fucked. And whenever we play the Steelers, we feel like we're getting fucked on a call. Whenever the Cavs,
you got fucked on that one.
I don't want to talk about that, Bill.
We're not going back there.
Let that one fucking go. That one.
Please.
It's okay though. It's all right. Anyway,
I agree with you.
At the time.
That's one thing.
Before I knew you.
That's one thing the NHL does a great job of. They go to Toronto, they get the video production, and it's generally spot on. Did the puck completely cross the goal line? I mean, I know it's apples and oranges, but gosh, dang it, get it right, man. You're fucking up the game.
If you have the technology, you should use it because here's the thing, right? NFL football, the guys are too big. The game is too fast. You're going to miss calls. You're going to blow calls. There should be a way to take a look because you have the technology, right? Yeah. To be able to say, hey, look, this needs to be reversed. This was the wrong call, or this should have been called. Like some of those face masks, like the one against the Bengals on that Thursday night game when they were going to tie that game against the Ravens, right?
Yeah.
Joe Burrow gets totally face masked. No call.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Or Sam Darnold, right? In that Vikings game.
All right.
Just yank
And
his head off.
before we move on to the next game, I just want to mention that in this last game, the Chiefs took a safety at the end of the game. That was a 9.5-point spread. Because of that, a lot of people lost their wager. Like, what are you doing? Who's running out of the end zone on a punt? What's the point? You burned 4 seconds. It made no sense. I don't know why you do that.
And in that situation, it did. That was kind of puzzling. I mean, it's been done. Teams will do
Sure.
it because
Absolutely, but not with just under 2 minutes. There was no point to that other than the points.
it makes you wonder. It definitely does. And that's the thing, man. The credibility, in my opinion, of the NFL is gone. It's maybe one notch above WWE because
at least they're telling you it's scripted. All right.
Seems like it sometimes. But yeah.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to ask Gene, did you ever talk to the officials before the game?
No.
Other
than them molesting me, seeing if I had silicone sprayed all over me when they were feeling me up in the locker room. That was the only interaction I ever had with them, but it was brief, and usually it was silent, and I felt like I was in a glory hole or something real quick.
Because the coaches would have a list. I mean, every week they knew who the officials were, and in the meetings they would say, well, this guy calls a lot, this guy will let it go, and
that's
so
true.
I wanted to talk about the other game real quick. You have Washington at Philadelphia. The Eagles have a strong team again. Washington has had a great record, but they seem to come out of nowhere with their young quarterback, who's had a great season. To me, he seems almost unbeatable. There's Jaylan Daniels here with Hurts. He just seems unflappable. But one thing I wanted to talk about was something Daniel started in college. Was he started using AR, and they called it REPS, like Reps Virtual Reality, VR. They can put all the plays in offensively and all the defenses that he would see into this AR, and he can run through it. In fact, he does it every morning, apparently. He started this in college. When he came to Washington, he requested that they do the same thing. He does it at twice the speed. So when he gets into a game, it's even slower for him, which is just a really interesting concept of getting better and really fine-tuning your craft. I mean, this kid's so young, but he's ahead of the curve. It's impressive.
Yeah, he's just fun to watch.
It sort of reminds me of the study they did on gamers that became surgeons that had better hand skills in the beginning than non-gamers because they spent so much time, training their mind and their brain to move their fingers really fast and in intricate ways. And then when they became surgeons, it was almost kind of like nothing for them. I can't remember the study, but it's
interesting.
Train your brain, train your hands, train your mind, hand-eye coordination. My daughter had a disorder called convergence disorder. It's basically lazy eye and a situation where your two eyes don't work together. My wife could explain this way better than me because she actually worked for the lady for a while that did the eye training. But anyway, I have lazy eye too, and my eyes often don't work together, so I get really tired reading and shit. But you can go train your eye, your bad eye, your lazy eye, with all these techniques, just like it's a muscle, and they have all these programs. And after about a year, your eyes are working together in conjunction again, and you're not getting as tired reading and comprehending and all that sort of thing. But I said all that to say this: hockey players and a lot of people with hand-eye coordination jobs do this eye training too at the same facility my daughter did this training.
Oh, wow.
Because they have like these light trainings where you sit there and you have to tap these lights really fast. They have all this shit, and it trains your eyes and your hands and the eyes, and it gives you a quicker stick and shit. So,
I need that.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, go spend $1,000 a month to do that. Be quicker.
For rec hockey, I'm in.
In rec hockey, fuck that shit, dude. But I'm just saying, your brain, your hands, your eyes, all that stuff, it can be trained, and he's doing it, with his brain, awesome. And it's translating. He still has to
noticeable.
Grows, but everything slows down. I remember when shit first started slowing down for me in the NFL because shit was fast as fuck. First of all, I changed positions from tackle, and I had to go to guard. I had to learn a new position, and I had to learn both sides because I was a backup. And it was just everything was just so fast. Everything just boom, 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 boom. And then once I got my first game, I think my second year in real live action, I'd been practicing all the time for about 18 months. We'd done tons of hitting. It's the old NFL where you were wearing pads on Fridays and shit. And, everything was slower. I was like, holy shit, it's kind of slowed down for me. I kind of get it. Adrenaline was pumping through me, but I wasn't reacting too fast.
Yeah.
It was just all, the more you do it and the more you train your brain to do it and the more reps you take, it's
muscle memory.
That you can just train your brain now without actually doing the reps and then just go out there and produce. It's kind of cool.
Well, and back in the day, they'd say, oh, you're hurt, but get on the sideline, you're getting mental reps. I mean, this takes it to the umpteenth level.
Mm-hmm.
They'll all be wearing VR headsets on the sidelines now, getting
hit by footballs.
Yeah.
Can't see the football coming, or the guy that's about to run you over.
Tom Brady would be over there breaking them like he was those fucking tablets, but everybody else would be training their brain.
Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
Is that kind of like, athletes will talk about being in the zone, right? Where everything slows down and just kind of seems to flow. Is it kind of like that?
I don't know, because being in the zone to me is smoking a joint and being high. So I'm not sure what being in the zone means, but shit does slow down the more you do it.
Mm-hmm.
They used to talk about like
confidence to do it. Some guys you see never quite have the confidence, so it never slows down for them because they're getting into their whole head.
Yeah.
Once you get out of your own head and realize you're good at something, it does slow down. So it takes time.
You were in the zone in that championship game against the Vikings.
Well, I mean, yeah, dude, because when you have a chance to play in a Super Bowl, it's just you don't give a shit at that point. You just want to get to the Super Bowl. That's all I was thinking about, man.
Yeah.
And for most of the game, I didn't think we were going to get there. And then
that was an amazing game.
I thought we were, and I was like, holy fuck. And then we did. And then I saw everybody in Minnesota crying, and that was awesome. And then, people were getting high on the fucking bus. I won't say who, but they were backups and shit. I wasn't. I had a Super Bowl to play. I was smoking a cigarette. Anyway, that was, I was in the bit of a zone. We were all in the zone for that game because we were focused. Yeah. We weren't meant to win against the 15-1 team. That was supposed to be the Super Bowl champion. So
you're right.
We never gave up. The Super Bowl was a whole different thing. After Eugene Robinson took that. That
was part of it. I put it on coaching too. That game plan was garbage.
It was terrible. You had the top rusher in the league.
I tried to be in the zone, but after that play, I looked at Bob Whitfield. I'm like, man, we're gonna have to score 100 fucking points tonight because Gene got no sleep.
Hey, Eugene, rough night last night.
One
of the Broncos said that to him after he gave up an early 41-yard touchdown.
He should have just stayed in like me and gotten busted by the strength coach smoking a cigarette, drinking a beer. But I can say that now because my head coach is dead.
Yeah. Well, and he never even addressed it, did he?
No, I don't think so. Not really.
Well, you go in the confessional on Sunday, and that's enough.
Yeah, fair enough.
Has nothing to do with your teammates. All right. So we don't go over, and I need to be ready for the games tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Happy ending at the end. Uncle Bill or Gene?
Go ahead, Gene.
My happy ending is, let's see here. Dutch customers in Tesla, they did a survey, may sell their Teslas over there in Denmark. They're embarrassed by Elon Musk. And there's plenty of conservative Dutch that like Trump and his immigration policies. But Elon Musk is so fucking embarrassing. A bunch of them may sell their fucking Teslas. And I own a Tesla, and I do not have a bumper sticker that says I bought it before he turned into a douchebag.
I'm going to get you one.
I was kind of happy about that people are waking up and realizing this guy's a fucking idiot. And I was also happy, more Elon news, he does not get an office in the White House. They put him over in the Roosevelt building, and he has to communicate to Trump's chief of staff. What's her name? Susie Wiles or some shit.
Oh, yeah.
You're right.
So he's getting, chopped off at the knees a little bit. And
so instead he's going over to Germany and he's stoking the, hey, why should the German youth feel guilty about what their grandparents did? It's time to move on. Forget about it.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's never gotten over the fact that he was severely fucking bullied, and he's running out there like trying to be something. This is all fucking payback for.
And his father hated him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, his father bullied him. People.
Father called him a retard.
Yeah, people.
Apparently, you can't say that anymore.
Yeah,
he did.
He was bullied. He was severely bullied. His brother's much fucking better looking than him. He's a super geek. He's on the autism spectrum, but he likes to say he has Asperger's because he thinks somehow that's more cool or high level thinking.
Well, and that term has been discarded,
right?
Because Hans Asperger was a Nazi doctor when he diagnosed that condition. So yeah, we've kind of.
But plenty of people are defending
Elon,
saying that shit he was doing wasn't.
Oh, I know, ridiculous.
What it was,
and some people are getting fired for it. So.
Meteorologists fired for basically stating the obvious. We're living in that sort of country right now. They're going to press all of our buttons, see how far they can take this shit. I hope people believe in good trouble, because you're going to need a lot of it to fucking undo this mess.
It's true.
Well, and if we don't stop it, it's going to steamroll us. That's the thing. Like once this gets too deeply entrenched, you can't get it to go away.
Well, it starts with Elon not being fucking having a desk next to Trump. I guess he's not the president after all.
And they took away his red stapler.
That does make me happy. That's a bit of a happy ending. But Bill, what's your happy ending?
I like that. Mine's kind of lame. I was at the gym earlier today with Cole, and we ran into a friend of mine, a guy that I used to. He's a video guy. He's a video production company. Really good dude. I worked together with him on a few different projects. Always fun to work with. Hadn't seen him in a while, and he goes to a different gym. But I ran into him. There's like a little running track indoors. I was crossing it to go to the stretching area, and he like plowed into me on purpose because I was looking the other way. And I did like a double take, and it was, it's this old friend of mine, and we were chatting. But so his gym gives some free passes to mine because his has bed bugs. There's a bed bug break. But so it was nice to run into an old friend, introduce him to Cole, my nephew, and so that was kind of like one of those little nice things that kind of happened to you out of the blue. So
nice.
Yeah.
Well, I don't really have a happy ending today. My morning's been in turmoil, listening to the news more than I should. But I have a happy ending request.
Okay.
We can't stop the orange guy from making these horrendous policies. I'm not in government. I can't change that. But what my request for my happy ending is, I don't want to see the guy. Does he have to be on every network? Do they have to show him in California and Asheville? I mean, all he does is give misinformation and raise my blood pressure. So do what you're going to do. We'll digest it, and we'll fix it over time, and we'll gather as the underlings and try and organize about it. But I need to see less of this man everywhere. It's just not good for me.
I need him to release the Epstein files.
He won't do it. He won't do it.
That is not happening.
He released everything but the Epstein files, and his people don't seem to care, even though it was a big deal before. Apparently, it's not now. They wanted to get after the Clintons through that, but now that Trump's so tied up in it, and they have video and they have audio, etc., they'd rather it be swept away. So,
well, not to take one more shot in the last 30 seconds at Democrats, but way to give him the fucking win on releasing the fucking JFK and Martin Luther King shit.
He was supposed to release that.
That's me, fucking idiots. You just ruined my happy ending, you fucking Democrats. Wake the fuck up.
That's
and get
what
younger. We just got to get younger, man. These boomers, they're
it's time.
Goddamn boomer supremacists.
It's time to go. Yeah,
it's time to go, man.
Beat it, boomer.
And we need the help of the generations behind us. The younger people need.
Meanwhile, hey, bro, send as much booze as you can to the Pentagon. Send it to Pete. Send it to CCP. That's all you gotta do. As much booze as you can. All the brown liquors, all the white liquors, the little Baileys, and some fucking Red Bull. Let's get this fucking idiot going.
And my
all right. Hey, drink up, Petey.
And my request,
some fucking Johnny Walker. And a Punisher t-shirt.
My request goes back to Gene's point, which is ask the youth if you have a question, because they will answer it. They have a lot to say. Let's let them have some time and space to express, because this is their planet that we're leaving them.
Listen, old people like us, listen. Not you boomers. You're not going to fucking listen to shit. We've already surveyed you. You don't give a fuck.
You're taking your money with you.
Yeah, I want to spend it on myself.
All right.
Fair enough.
Well, good job today. I'm looking forward to Tuesday. We can talk about some of these games that are coming up tomorrow.
All right.
All right. Good. I'm not going to watch any of them, but okay.
I'll clue you in, buddy.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
See you, fellas.
Nice job, boys.
All right.
All right. You too.